lizard. It's a lizard. Look.
Why do you keep it as a pet?
How is he there then?
Evie, there's a lizard.
Lizard.
Hey guys, so I went for a walk this morning. Yay! I did 2 miles around my village. There's 2 laps. I've never walked around the village in laps before. I've always run up the lane instead. And it turns out that 1 lap is exactly 1 mile of the village. So that's actually really quite handy to know that, because it'll be good when you need to do an X amount of mileage and stuff like that. So I did my first lap with Kelly, and then I did my second lap on my own, and I did that a bit quicker, and then I really needed a wee. I wanted to do 3 miles today, but I really needed a wee. So I've come home and washed my hair and whatnot, and then I'll be picking Holly up in about half an hour. So I thought that it's time to go through all of these vegan things, or vegan friendly things that I've been trying. One of you, Andrea77, has asked, what do the fishless fingers taste like? Which is a very good question, because when you say the word fishless fingers, it sounds pretty strange. But so I'm just going to run through these now. I'm losing my voice a little bit. I've had this annoying mucousy throat cough for maybe about a month now. I don't feel unwell. I don't feel like I've got a cold or anything like that, and I just can't really seem to be shifting it, so I have no idea. And then last night I started to lose my voice, and again I can hear it this morning. It's really husky and masculine, and I'm not a fan of it at all. So I'm just gonna grab whatever. So the Alpro Simply Plain Yogurt is actually quite nice. And it does taste exactly the same as this Tesco version. This Tesco version looks curdled though. It looks like gone off yogurt or lumpy, horrible stuff. Whereas this is quite smooth and actually looks like a yogurt, but they taste exactly the same. And this is £1.25 and this is £1.80. So if you can get over the fact that this is lumpy, then you save yourself some money by not buying this. But this would be good if you could buy it on offer. But I do think £1.80 for a 500 gram tub of yogurt is a bit on the steep side, but it is what it is. So various things here from Linda McCartney. So I think one of the first ones that I ever tried were the vegetarian chorizo and red pepper sausages. And it says suitable for vegans on the front here. So these are actually quite red in colour, and they were absolutely beautiful. They're if you wouldn't have told me that they were vegetarian or vegan, I wouldn't have really known. I always buy Linda McCartney stuff when it's on offer, but you do need to be careful because not all of it is suitable for vegans, because some of them have got cheese and other things in them as well. So always check the packaging. I would highly recommend them. In fact, I pretty much highly recommend anything from the Linda McCartney range. I've got 2 packets of the vegetarian sausages here. When my brother came down with his girlfriend, I did bangers and mash, and they were so pleasantly surprised. And then they wanted to look at the packaging, and they were like, oh, it's so low in fat and it's so low with everything else. It's not worth getting real sausages, and they actually work out cheaper when they're on offer anyway. So again, I would pick these up when they're £1 a packet. Then we've got the Linda McCartney vegetarian red onion and rosemary sausages. So if you have ever tried rosemary sausages or sausages with rosemary in them, then you kind of know that these taste exactly the same. The only thing that you're sort of compromising on is maybe the texture. But if you think about what a sausage is, it's just processed, ground down dead pig. And then this is just processed, ground down vegetables. So I kind of know what one I would prefer to put into my body, if that makes any sense. So I'd recommend anything from Linda McCartney as long as it's vegan friendly. So let's talk about the Quorn fishless fingers. So I've got loads of empty packets here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why I've kept 5 of them, but like some of them have got different packaging. Like that's, I think, either their new or their old packaging versus that. So these are actually on offer at the moment in Tesco for £1.25. Their normal price is £2.50. Do they taste like fish fingers? Yes, they do taste like fish. I don't really understand how that could possibly be, but it doesn't taste like a cod fish finger. It tastes like something else. It tastes like a different fish, but I don't know what fish it would taste like. But it definitely does taste like a fish finger, just not your traditional cod fish finger, if that makes any sense. If that's the best way I could try and describe it. But like Claire had these when she came down to stay with me, and she was pleasantly surprised. She said she really liked them, and then she actually showed her dad them in the supermarket when they went shopping, and she was telling him all about them as well, and he was really intrigued. So for a non-vegan to then carry that information forwards and like share it with other people, I think that just goes to show that they actually are quite pleasant. I think there's sort of like this misconception that everything that's like by Quorn tastes like cardboard. Everything that's vegan is vegetables, which it is in an essence, but like it's so much more than that. It's so much better than what it used to be. The availability is better. The pricing is hit and miss. I think you've just got to wait for the offers to come around. But things like this are really good for Holly because she likes fish fingers, so she needs to have something that mimics a fish finger. So I would highly recommend those. So we've got the yogurts that I like to buy for Holly. She really likes the banana flavour and the apricot flavour. So you get 2 pots of banana and 2 pots of apricot. You can also buy them in a pack of 4, which are all for strawberry flavour, but she prefers the banana ones. So those are the ones that I get. I think I remember speaking about these in a previous vlog. They've actually got double the amount of protein that she was getting than when she was having like a froob or Aldi's answer to a froob. So yeah, there's more yogurt than there is a froob, but I was only ever given her 1 froob. I was never given her 2. So we're doubling up on the nutrients and stuff and the vitamin D and the calcium and whatever just by having 1 pot of these versus 1 froob or tube of yogurt or whatever. I think these are like £1.20 or £1.50 or something like that, but she really likes them. They're great. So we've got the Alpro creamy caramel dessert pots. You can find these in the free from. They're not in the chilled section because they can be left at ambient room temperature. So these are exactly what they say on the tin. It's just like a creamy caramel sort of dealio. Holly didn't like them. I did, but I wouldn't buy them because I just eat them all the time, and I think they're like 5 or 6 smart points on Weight Watchers for a pot. But these are lovely, especially if you've got like guests coming over or whatever, or you had like, I don't know, like a piece of chocolate cake, and then you could like maybe heat this up or whatever and pour it onto the chocolate cake. I don't know, you can get inventive with this sort of stuff, and they last forever. Like the date on them is just so long, so you don't even need to keep them in the fridge if you don't want to. So they're really good. Got quite a few empty packets of the white chocolate buttons. Holly loves these. They haven't had them in our local Tesco for a while, so we've been having to have the white chocolate bars instead. So I think turning vegan, like that is one of the things that I will miss is white chocolate. I absolutely adore Milky Buttons. I think they're just stunning. Like when I was pregnant, I had massive cravings for white chocolate, and it's kind of stuck with me ever since. This does hit the spot if I'm having a good day. If I'm having a bad day and I'm like needing the white chocolate, it doesn't hit the spot. So to me, this reminds me of the flavour of white cooking chocolate. So it's like more oily in texture, but it's probably got like a different melting points to normal white chocolate. So they are nice. Obviously Holly likes them and they're enough for her, but as like an adult I can definitely tell the difference. But yeah, the best way to describe how they taste would be to say that they taste like white cooking chocolate instead, if you've ever tried white cooking chocolate. So just some sweets now that Holly had. These were like jelly dinosaurs. So think of like Haribo sugar covered sweets like the Tang-Tastics or Tang-Fastics, whatever they're bloody called. These were the same, but just they were a lot softer and they were more gooey. So like if you open the packet, they kind of needed to all be gone on the same day because they just start to sort of stick together and stuff like that, which I suppose is a good thing because it shows that they're made more out of like natural stuff and they have less preservatives in them. But those were lovely. They were really nice, but like quite a subtle flavour. And like, you know, when you put Tang-Fastics in your mouth and you're like, because it's so sour, that you don't get that with those. I had this Mahalo, or I don't know how to say it, chocolate bar from my local vegan store. It's expensive, but it did definitely taste like a Bounty, but like a much better version of a Bounty. It was like more coconutty and more exotic and more creamy and more rich and more indulgent. It just felt like it hit the spot so much more, but then it was £2.15, so you know, but like that was absolutely stunning. I really enjoyed that, so if you want to send any of those my way, then feel free. Oreos. There's a lot of controversy going around with Oreos at the moment. Are they vegan? Are they not? They are. I went into Tesco's yesterday and looked at them. There's nothing in there that's not vegan. So, and the Tesco versions, the cookies and cream biscuits of Oreos are vegan as well. So there's nothing in the ingredients list that I can see anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, that makes these non-vegan. So these were only £1, but I didn't really particularly like them. They weren't that nice. I think I was eating them for the sake of it, but they were worth giving a go. You've got to try these things. So I've got 2 packets of these protein things that I ordered, protein samples that I ordered a while ago. They're all right. They do the job. I've not got a lot to compare them to really. They do turn your porridge. I put them in my porridge. I haven't tried them as a drink yet, but they turn my porridge like a turmeric type of colour, so like a curry yellow, I would say, which is probably going to be off-putting to a lot of people. But if you're looking for protein shake stuff, vegan-friendly protein shakes, then this stuff's actually quite good. Doesn't taste nasty or anything like that. Tyrrells, lightly sea salted, sweet potato crisps, bloody lovely, stunning. Things like this are just kind of like accidentally vegan, but those are so nice. I like vegetable crisps. I like beetroot crisps and parsnip crisps and stuff like that better than like your potato crisps, whatever. So those are nice. And then I did have another box of this. I must have thrown it away. But this is the Cheatin' by V-Bites, the ham style slices. So these I would say were more like beef colour, so like a browner colour or whatever, but Holly didn't seem to mind. She quite enjoyed them. She wouldn't have them in a sandwich, but then she struggles with sandwiches anyway, so I just cut up ham, put it on a plate with some sweet corn, cucumber and whatever fruit that she wants on the day. They are expensive, but the shelf life on them is quite long as well. So like, again, if you think about ham, it's highly processed dead pig, whereas this is probably highly processed plants. So I think I know which one I would prefer to put into mine and Holly's body. We also tried the chicken style pieces, and again, they tasted like chicken. It's just the texture. The texture is different. You've got to get over that. It does a very good job of being similar, but it's different. Of course it's going to be, because it's plants rather than meat. So yeah, but that's it for the now. That's all I've got. If there's anything specific that you wanted me to go out and buy and try, then maybe we could arrange something like that. But for the now, that's all I've saved. But thumbs up to Linda McCartney and thumbs up to the vegan fishless fingers. They're awesome. So yeah, hope that was helpful and useful to all of you, and I'll see you later.
So, when my mum was in her later stages of being ill, or after she passed away, I can't remember quite when, but my uncle, so my dad's brother, was also taken ill. We thought at first that it was just like a seizure or epilepsy or something like that, but it turned out to be a brain tumour. So this happened while he was currently living in Australia, because he's lived there for years and years and years now. And he met a lovely lady called Kerry, and they had a baby called Reef. And Reef is my cousin, but who's the same age as Holly. So he had an operation on his brain, and they lined up the lasers wrong and zapped the tumour that needed to come out. They got all of the tumour out, but it left him blind in his left eye, or right eye, one of the two, because they lined up the laser wrong. So he and his wife and my cousin Reef moved back to the UK, which is why I went to Oxfordshire not so long ago to see the family. Today, my dad rang me and told me that on the 12th of September he'll be coming over to the UK, because my dad lives in Germany. That's why he's coming over to the UK to see Uncle Giles, because he's taken a turn for the worse. So he's now just taken a turn for the worse. I don't know if I can go into the details. I'm gonna stick with this. So he's been having chemotherapy, but now he's like, he can't see properly at all, and like he's lost the ability of speech. Yeah, I'm gonna cut out the details, I think, because that's yeah. So I don't know. I don't think there's long. September's So let's try and find a September smile for today. A September smile for today would be the fact that my Uncle Giles is my godfather. So when I got christened, my mum and dad chose my uncle, who was also the best man at their wedding, to be my godfather. That's something to smile about. I don't quite know how to finish this, so I'm just gonna go.